Imagine waking up to the sound of something enormous tearing across the sky, an intense blue light cutting through the horizon, and then an explosion so powerful it would flatten an entire forest. That is what happened on the morning of June 30, 1908, in the remote Tunguska region of Siberia. At 7:14 a.m., a fireball lit up the sky, followed by a blast felt hundreds of kilometers away. The explosion released energy equivalent to dozens of Hiroshima atomic bombs, and within seconds, more than 80 million trees were knocked down as if swept away by an invisible hand. But the strangest part is that there was no crater, no hole, nothing indicating the exact point of impact. Witnesses living far from the site reported seeing a second sun crossing the sky. Others said they were thrown to the ground by the shockwave. Atmospheric waves created by the event circled the Earth, recorded by instruments of the time. Nearly 20 years later, Leonid Kulik led the first serious scientific expedition to the site. He found a devastated forest, charred trunks, and no clear sign of a meteorite. An airburst seemed like the most logical explanation, but the lack of fragments raised doubts. The most accepted hypothesis today is that an asteroid or comet exploded before hitting the ground. Yet even this theory leaves important gaps. Modern studies have revealed magnetic anomalies, unusual isotopes in the soil, and changes in tree growth patterns, suggesting the released energy was extremely unusual. Scientists also proposed alternative theories, including the possibility of a comet composed almost entirely of ice, which would have completely disintegrated. Others mentioned a massive underground methane release, though this does not explain the intense light seen in the sky. Even more daring theories exist, such as the passage of a micro-black hole or even the explosion of an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Although these ideas are not widely accepted by the scientific community, they continue to fuel debates and investigations. The cultural impact of Tunguska is enormous, as it reminds humanity of its vulnerability before the cosmos. Had the explosion occurred over a populated city, the disaster would have been immeasurable. In recent years, new technologies have enabled more detailed analyses of the region, yet the core mystery remains. Tunguska continues to be an enigma that defies definitive explanations. Each theory answers part of the phenomenon, but none can fully explain everything. After Kulik's expedition, other missions attempted to unravel the mystery. Some found small metallic spheres mixed in the soil, though their origin remains uncertain. Other analyses suggested that vegetation in the region grew abnormally, as if exposed to radiation or extreme heat. Science attempted to reconstruct the event using digital simulations, replicating atmospheric explosions, and many of them matched the 1908 reports. However, none of them fully explained the complete absence of fragments. This contradiction fuels speculation to this day. Some local cultures, such as the Evenki people, believed that a god descended from the sky in fury, destroying the forest as punishment. These traditional stories add a mythical layer to the mystery, revealing how astronomical events can shape collective imagination. In the scientific field, researchers continue trying to understand the exact composition of the object. Some models suggest the body could have only been a few dozen meters in diameter, but its velocity would have amplified the released energy. Others argue it was a larger object, fragmented shortly before the explosion. The lack of crater strengthens the airburst explanation, but does not eliminate the need for conclusive physical evidence. A similar phenomenon occurred in Chelyabinsk in 2013, offering a modern comparison. That event helped scientists analyze shockwave patterns and atmospheric fragmentation, but even so, Tunguska remains unique in many aspects. The remote location made early documentation difficult and allowed the mystery to grow over the decades. Since then, theories involving dark energy, exotic matter, and even secret experiments have emerged to fill the gaps. Although unlikely, these ideas show how the event continues to ignite global imagination. Each new study rekindles the debate about the risks of cosmic impacts and the need for planetary defense systems. Tunguska serves as a warning that Earth has already been struck by extraordinary forces, and may be so again. The search for truth is not only scientific, it is also philosophical. It questions our place in the universe and reminds us that we are vulnerable to events that exceed our understanding. With technological advances in the 21st century, new expeditions mapped the region with precision. Remote sensing equipment revealed geometric patterns in the orientation of fallen trees, suggesting the shockwave behaved in an extremely organized manner. Researchers also found microscopic particles that may have extraterrestrial origins, though nothing conclusive has been proven. These findings reinforce the idea that Tunguska was a rare, perhaps unique phenomenon that still challenges modern physics. Some scientists believe the object could have been composed of only a few dozen meters in diameter, but its velocity would have amplified the released energy. Others argue it was a larger object, fragmented shortly before the explosion. The lack of crater strengthens the airburst explanation, but does not eliminate the need for conclusive physical evidence. In modern times, we understand that celestial objects crossing Earth's orbit are a real danger. Tunguska serves as a grim reminder that Earth's past is punctuated by these sorts of events. Even after over a century of research, Tunguska continues to inspire questions that inspire new research. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding what happened that day, but the mystery seems to persist. Each year, new experts tend to introduce new hypotheses, which fuel more debates and research programs. Every aspect of Tunguska seems to debate classic science. From the absence of a crater to the strange magnetic effects observed later, every detail adds another layer of complexity to the mystery. Whether it was an asteroid, a comet, or something else, Tunguska leaves us with the lesson that the universe is full of surprises, some of them quite dangerous.